All right, good morning. My name is Shane Harder, and today I want to talk a little bit about what gear you would need as a beginning videographer. What is a standard kit, standard group of equipment that'll give you a lot of bang for your buck, and yeah, it'll just be a fantastic kit for a wide variety of different uses, be it interviews or run and gun stuff or whatever, So here we go. We've got, okay, so as a general rule of thumb, try and go with a larger sensor if you can, if you like to add depth of field to your videos. Most people seem to like that. I definitely do. So the larger the sensor, the better in that department as a general rule of thumb. So try to stick with a Super 35 or a full frame sensor if you can. I'm shooting this video on a Gh4, which has a micro four thirds sensor. It's probably the biggest drawback of that camera in my opinion, but it's still such a fantastic camera. I love shooting with it. Yeah, and then of course, if you can have the option of shooting in 4K, it gives a lot of flexibility. It's one of the things I like about the Gh4. So speaking of which, cameras that I recommend specifically, Gh4 is great. The Sony A7s is great. Both of those cameras have their quirks, just like every camera basically ever. And then if you want to go with the used camera, you can pick up really great price on a used FS100 from Sony or a good C100 from Canon. Both of those, you could basically pick up for around $3 grand or so, maybe a little cheaper if you find a good deal. And then, yeah, if you already have like a full frame DSLR or something, that can work too. So, but I strongly feel like the better image comes from the Gh4 if you need ease of use and a complete package and you want to shoot 4K internally and you like slow motion. Those are all, if you like those things, go with the Gh4. If low light sensitivity, full frame sensor, are the most important things for you, then go with the Sony A7s. So there you go on those. As far as lenses go, if you're on a super budget, on a super tight budget, of course, I would suggest go with the Rokinon lenses. If you go with the Rokinon Cinema series lenses, you can get by with really, really cheap lens adapters that'll save you hundreds. So I've got the Metabones Speed Booster adapter on my Gh4, but you can just get like a $15 adapter if you have those cinema lenses, because the aperture is controlled on the lens itself. So very nice little feature about those, and they're so inexpensive too. They're only, gosh, I think like $350 to like $600 a piece, something like that. So you can go pick up a set of those for a really, really great deal. And a lot of people just love those lenses. So that's a great option. If you don't want to go that option, or if you want a good photo video combo where you want autofocus in your lenses, here's a great set of lenses that you can go take a look at. The Sigma 50mm art lens. I love that lens. It's one of my very favorites. It's actually what's here on this camera right here on my 5D right now. Looks fantastic, the image from it. I love it. Then we've got a good like 16 to 35 or 14 to 24, something like that. If you're on a Super 35 sensor or a crop frame sensor or even a micro four thirds sensor, you're better off going with something like a 10 to 22 or a if you're on micro four thirds, like the 7 to 14 from Panasonic is a great lens. That one's fantastic and be a wonderful performer for you. So those are the best ones to take a look at in the ultra wide range. Then you've got your 24 to 70 and your mid range. Pick up whatever you can think of there. One that would be a fantastic option for, and a lot of people love in the Super 35 and micro four thirds range, is the Sigma, I believe it's 18 to 35 f1.8, which is the only zoom lens in existence to my knowledge that has a wider constant aperture than 2.8. Pretty impressive spec there. And gosh, I love those art lenses. They're built so well. They're pretty heavy, but built just fantastic. Image is fantastic. Love them. Then, you know, if you want like a macro lens, go pick that up. Tilt shift lenses are so much fun, especially in video, I think. And then fisheye lenses, you know, they're just fun, you know, they're quirky. Then as far as lights go, it's good to go with, I think the most bare bones kit you would want to go with would be a solid 1x1 LED panel. I love LED lights, so I'm just going to recommend those. Solid 1x1 LED panel, and then a couple smaller sized, you know, like this rectangular battery powered LED lights. The nice thing about LEDs is they are pretty bright, really efficient on light output. They stay cool. I've burned my hands so many times on hot lights. I just hate using them. And then the color temperature, the standard color temperature for most of them that you pick up is going to be daylight balanced. So daylight balance is going to be mostly what you want anyway. So just go with those. And the thing is about those as well, there's a lot that have the bicolor. And that sounds like a great idea in theory, but in practice, the bicolor lights reduce your light output, so the punch, the power that you have out of your LED lights, by half. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I used to work at a camera store and I had to explain that hundreds of times to people. So I personally prefer just the daylight balanced ones because they're so much more powerful. So that's that. And then moving on to, of course, if you got more money for more lights, and you have specific needs for lights, I'm sure you know what you need to get. But this is a real basic kit that'll work great for interviews and other kind of basic lighting scenarios. Then on to sound. A great, just super flexible piece of equipment is the Sennheiser body pack transmitters. That's actually what I'm using to record this right now. This one is the EW-100 Gh4. I'm a big fan of these. They're just so flexible, and they come with this set. It comes with the, I think it's the 112 set is what you look for online, but I can put the link in the description below as well. It has the ME2 mic on it, which is an omnidirectional mic, so that'll pick up all kinds of things. So if you do like wedding videography, you can just mic the groom and it'll pick up pretty much the pastor and the bride all in that little group there. So great mic, great setup, lets you plug your sound straight into the camera if you want, and all kinds of fun things. Another really versatile sound tool that I love and I think is a critical part of any kit, and will actually frankly make your sound much better than just going straight into the camera, is an audio recorder. So kind of like a portable field mixer type thing. I traded out my Zoom recorders for a Tascam DR-60D. You can pick those up now really, really cheap, a lot less than what I paid for mine. And it sounds great, really versatile, really built for like DSLR shooting or mirrorless shooting. Just a fantastic tool to accompany those kinds of setups, kind of camera setups. And then also the Zoom H5 or H6, those are also great recorders. Great sound quality, and again gives you lots of flexibility. If you go shoot events, for example, with these recorders, you can plug them directly into the soundboard from the DJ, and you can record a really nice long audio track that you can mix in with everything else that you're shooting, and it's just it just makes things easier, you know. And then if you want to step up and get a shotgun mic, I love the Rode mics. The NTG2 is a good budget mic, and the NTG3 is a good step up from that. I own the NTG3 and I love the sound quality from it. It sounds fantastic. The only reason I'm not using that in this scenario is because I actually set it up and tried it out, and I was just getting a little bit more echo from that in the room that I'm in than I would like. So just to reduce that echo level, I opted to just go with my little lav mic. So, and it seems to be working pretty good, I think. Oh yeah, and then as far as headphones go, I own the Sennheiser HD 280 Pro series, And those aren't the best headphones in the world, but they're also not the worst by any means. I think they're really good and probably the best bang for your buck option. You can get a really good deal on a good set of those, and they isolate the sound really well, and they're very neutral sound, so they're great for recording. They're also not noise canceling headphones, so you won't get all kinds of weird problems and distortions or whatever. Well, not really distortions, but you won't cancel out noise that you're trying to listen for so it doesn't get recorded, etc., etc. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just take my word for it. Do not get noise canceling headphones when you're using them to record audio with. So that should basically wrap it up. Should give you a good list of equipment that you should get. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode where I talk about building your portfolio and the step-by-step process of building a solid video production business from basically nothing. So stay tuned, have a great day, and talk to you then.